even though that's kind of in the
I haven't
very
seen it, by the way.
stuff.
I haven't seen anything in the stream prior to this, so.
Okay, right. Well, I think
I heard about it though.
so. It sort of depends. I mean, it's about what we're sort of ready. So if we're looking at it and going, here's our 10 notes on it, and we want to tweak these things, then we don't really want to share it yet because we know that you're going to say the same things we're going to say, basically. But if we're like, hey, we think this is really good, and let's share it, and yes, we know we're going to be adding and doing some stuff, then we do it at that stage. So it sort of depends on a per asset basis. It's an internal feel on the team on kind of the stuff we're like, yeah, that's cool enough to show the community, or no, it still needs a bit of work.
Okay. All right, good deal. Now, you've mentioned earlier that modding is going to be a big thing, and people can run their own servers, which is awesome as far as I'm concerned. But the question I have is, do you only plan to have one central server cluster? Is there going to be room for two? Is there going to be room for a hardcore rule set? I mean, I look at games like Diablo, and I see that the hardcore rule set is almost what defines that game. Is there going to be room for something like that here? And I understand somebody could run their own, but it's not the same thing as having an official, hardcore rule set. Because I don't want people to, be able to run away from me when I try to kill them. Is basically what I'm getting at. And I'm a player, and a lot of my brothers over at Fail Eve Challenge, they're Eve players too. They want to see the ability to brief people. Is there going to be a server, an official server that allows us to do that? Is there room for one?
Well, so our plan is we're just going to have one big persistent universe server, and that's it. And of course, you can do your own ones, which are they don't have the full functionality that the big persistent one does, just because that's a whole cluster of servers, and it's not something that's practical for anyone to have themselves. Right. But we're trying to design the world of the UEE setup that it's kind of like the real world. So I think that I definitely feel like people are like, oh, I want to do PvP and I want to grief people, and then there's people like, I don't want to deal with that, and I just want to be in my world. And then there's the invariable people are accusing people of being Care Bears, and everyone's getting upset.
The problem is that half of that group to enjoy it, there has to be some unconsensual
all I'm going to say is, in the way that we've designed the persistent universe and the dynamic matchmaking and the allocation of resources and some of the rules, my hope is that both groups of people can be in this world and essentially have their own areas that they can do exactly their stuff in and feel and have a big population of people that are like-minded and do the same stuff. And it also is in a way that maybe encourages some people to make the transition. Because I think, if you're never going to get someone to do something that they don't want to do, right? So you can't say you have to be always PvP, because there's a bunch of people that are PvE that just don't want to deal with that, and vice versa. So I think you need to have a system that sort of hopefully holistically does it inside our universe. So my sense is that it will work. We'll see. We don't know, but that's my hope. Is I want everyone in the same world, and it'd be like the real world. It's like, in this world, if you want to be someone, harassing and ripping people off, you certainly can do it. It's just certain areas you need to be in the world, right? You can be a pirate in Somalia, and there's not a lot of law and order there, and you can do that. But if you're just trying to chat people here in, I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say LA because people do chat people. but there's more law enforcement. So we're not stopping anyone from doing stuff, but basically the system's got stuff inside. So if you're like the way I like it, I definitely you should, even in a safe system, you can attack someone and do some PvP, but unless it's authorized, as in that person already has a bounty on their head and PvP's authorized on them. Then all of a sudden, then you will get a bounty on your head, and then other people will be coming after you. So you may want to do it if there's a score that makes it worth it. So if there's a really valuable, there's a freelancer loaded with a whole bunch of goods. It's like ripping off an armor truck. Then it's worth doing something in a high security area if you're going to use the Eve terminology. But if it's just a